Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagem. Okay, you guys, we need to talk about the Game of Thrones that is happening at Richmond. Please consider subscribing and watching all the way until the end. You don't want to miss out on the things I'm going to tell you. And then at the end, there are a bunch of little mini topics we're going to discuss that maybe don't warrant their own video. And then I'm going to answer a bunch of your questions. I'm going to react to some of your comments as well that I enjoyed this week. So yeah, please make sure that you watch all the way until the end. I can't wait to tell you everything. So what has been going on? Why am I saying it's like a Game of Thrones situation? So basically this is what has been happening. So a few weeks ago, there's this activist investor group called, I believe they're called Third Point. They started buying up shares in Richemont. And that really got a few people like freaked out. Like, why are they doing that? They are known for all kinds of investment shenanigans. Like, they buy shares in public companies. Then they start harassing the board of directors and the CEOs of those companies to like change their business strategy so that they can make more money from the shares that they have purchased. It's called activist investing. It's quite controversial in the financial world. Some people don't like that, and some people do. So I think most of you, everyone knows Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is the total opposite of an activist investor. He invests for a very long period of time, and he will wait, he'll wait basically for the jackpot when the time is ready. Activist investors really want to squeeze out all the profit like right now, and they want to get things to happen ASAP. That's just a sort of like a boiled down version basically of what they do. Some people like them, some people don't like them. I'm going to tell you what I think about them once I've told you the story. So as most of you know, Richemont is the Swiss holding group that owns Cartier, Cleef And Arpels, and A. Lange watches. We're going to talk about A. Lange later because they actually play a role in these shenanigans as well. So one of the top like figures in this whole activist investor thing is this man called Dan Loeb. If you follow finance, you've probably heard of him. So he is like, like Richemont need to do this. Richemont need to like get rid of Net-a-Porter because Richemont also own Net-a-Porter. Like it's not working out. Like we need to move on. They should be doing this and they should change like a lot of things that they're doing. And these activist investors were saying how like Big H, are doing like way better than Richemont or whatever. And, things are going well for them. LVMH, of course, is the market leader in the luxury goods industry. So they're comparing Richemont to Big H and to LVMH because LVMH is traded publicly and Big H is as well, right? So basically, they have put a ton of pressure on Richemont. And what that means is they're putting pressure on Johann Rupert. He's the controlling shareholder of Richemont. So basically, to be put very simply, the way he owns Richemont is very complicated, but this is what you need to know. He owns about 10% of Richemont, but he owns the majority of the controlling voting shares. So what that means is, okay, Johann Rupert cannot be sacked from this company. It's a similar situation that Mark Zuckerberg has at Facebook. Like, no one can push Mark out, honey, okay, of the company that he's founded. It's not going to happen because he set up the voting shares in a certain way. Broadly speaking, that doesn't mean that he can't technically be pushed out, but it'd be very, very hard to push him out. Johann Rupert has a similar thing going on. It's not exactly the same as Mark's situation, but it's quite similar. So Johann Rupert cannot be pushed out of this company. I think in terms of the board of directors of Richemont, I'm pretty sure that he's chosen most of them. So basically, this activist investor group, they're pressuring him to make these changes. They want to see Net-a-Porter, to be sold off because it is loss-making. And technically, it's called Yoox Net-a-Porter, Y-N-A-P. Now, Net-a-Porter is basically flopped, okay, to be blunt. If you like Net-a-Porter, don't be offended. We're just speaking about the facts here. It has flopped, okay? Farfetch is, running things in the luxury fashion e-commerce side. Matches is doing well. My Theresa is doing well. Louisa Viaroma is doing very well, particularly for Europe. They've got great euro prices on there, by the way. Now, Net-a-Porter is just kind of fallen by, the wayside, and everyone's just kind of forgotten about them. Think of all your favorite luxury influencers, all your favorite luxury channels. When they tell you, like, click on this link, it's probably a Farfetch link, it's probably a My Theresa, Net-a-Porter, Louisa Viaroma, or a Matches link. It's not going to be a Net-a-Porter link. It's very rare. Now, that's because Net-a-Porter has lost a lot of market share to Farfetch, and Farfetch is really the one that is running things at the moment, okay? So they're saying just sell, Yoox Net-a-Porter and get rid of them. And the activist investors are also saying that they feel like Richemont isn't like reaching its value and isn't doing as well as LVMH and Big H, and they believe that maybe Richemont should merge with Kering. When I was reading this in the Financial Times, I almost fell off my chair because I was just like, I cannot think of anything worse, okay, than Richemont merging with Kering. Let me explain why. We all know what time it is at Kering. There's one top dog at Kering, okay? Her name is Gucci and she's the girl over there. She runs that place. Now, Kering has other brands that are popping, Bottega, Balenciaga, Saint Laurent, but at the end of the day, it's a Gucci show over there. Richemont would benefit in no way from merging with Kering. And these activist investors, generally speaking, they don't really understand the industries where they are becoming an activist in. For them, they just want to squeeze as much money out of the shareholding price as possible. They don't really care about Cartier. They don't care about Cleef And Arpels. They don't even, care about Gucci. They don't care about the employees that work there. They don't care about anything. They just want to make a lot of money from buying a lot of shares, making changes, selling their shares for a profit, and then moving on, okay? Now, I don't think a merger is a good idea. The Financial Times mentioned that this was one of the ideas that they had floated, apparently. Johann Rupert has already heard this idea before because a few months ago, I think actually Kering approached him, or there was some sort of approach that happened from Kering, like, hey, maybe we should merge, and he said no. And I think in a new statement, he even said, Richemont merging with like another company, like no way. And he said, quote, that's a binding statement. That's what he said. So it doesn't seem like he's up for it. I think it's a terrible idea. Cartier and Cleef And Arpels would not benefit, okay, in any way from being merged with Kering. I think one of the major jewelry brands that Kering has is Boucheron. That's really the only house that I would see make sense for Richemont to be interested in, because obviously Boucheron is a very famous jewelry house. But at the end of the day, Richemont is not a ready-to-wear luxury fashion holding company. It is a jewelry and watch maison company, okay? And it is basically a holding company for jewelry maisons and watch brands. Now let's talk about A. Lang, okay? Did I mention A. Lang in my watch video? I don't think I did. I think when I was preparing to film the video, I was like, I'm gonna talk about A. Lang, and then I completely forgot. I'm pretty sure I forgot. So A. Lang is a very famous watch brand, and it is popping right now. So the Financial Times was saying that A. Lang is like one of the hottest watch brands in terms of the resale market and the auction market. They make about 5,500 watches a year. Bear in mind that AP make about 40,000 a year, Rolex make about $1 million a year. So they're very hard to get and they're very rare. So when they come up for auction, particularly the older models, they make a lot of money. So they've been popping right now in the auction market, and the FT was talking about that. And yes, Richemont do own A. Lang. Now, the question here is are these activist investors seeing that there are certain things popping with these watch brands and they're trying to make them more commercial? The whole point of this brand is that it's rare. They make a few watches per year and they always sell out. They have waiting lists and they do well at auction, even though I think the CEO of A. Lang was saying that they don't agree with things going on the gray market, but they can definitely see that their brand is in demand. Their brand being in demand means that Cartier, Van Cleef & Arpels, and Richemont, generally speaking, know what they're doing, okay, when it comes to jewelry and to watches, okay? But in my opinion, Richemont is never really going to be a luxury fashion holding company. Richemont do own Haya, I believe, and they do own Chloe. By the way, I love Haya. I love that brand. And that's not a bad thing, but it's really jewelry and luxury watches. That's their thing. That's what they know how to do. Why should they merge with a luxury fashion holding company like Kering, which is known for Gucci, Balenciaga, Saint Laurent, and Bottega, which are all fantastic brands. And by the way, I love Balance. I think you guys, know that. I love Gucci, I love Balance, but there are no synergies to be benefited from here. As someone who has loved Cartier for many years, even before I started this channel, I have loved this brand. One of the biggest critiques that Cartier has received as a brand, singularly speaking, is that they have no fashion business. Okay, they don't have a ready-to-wear line. They have some new handbags that they've launched, But you know, they're kind of feeling it out. They haven't figured out how to do it. You know, if Cartier make sweatshirts saying Cartier, yes, I'm gonna buy one, okay? Because I love this brand. However, I don't feel like they need to create a fashion business. I don't feel like it's relevant to them. Yes, they could probably do it because the brand is so strong. They could make a ready-to-wear line, maybe a ready-to-wear line full of evening dresses. Maybe that could work, but I don't really see the point of that. So anyway, these activist investors are putting a lot of pressure on Richemont to make changes to the way that they're run. I think a merger would be terrible for you guys who are clients of Cartier. If you're a client of Van Cleef, if you love Van Cleef and Arpels, you should really not be into them merging with Kering, because that would be terrible for VCA. Let me tell you why. VCA shines at Richemont because it's Cartier and VCA basically kind of, you know, charging forward and making Richemont successful. VCA is like the younger sister who's coming up, putting numbers on the scoreboard like her older sister Cartier. And yes, Cartier is actually older than Van Cleef and Arpels, guys, okay? For some reason, some people think that VCA was open first. It wasn't. Cartier was open first. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, this doesn't help Van Cleef and Arpels, in my opinion. Van Cleef and Arpels would end up getting lost if Richemont and Kering merged into this massive kind of holding company to compete against LVMH. People need to put some respect on the name of the Arnault family. They are very good custodians of luxury brands. They really understand how to be excellent stewards of many luxury brands. People, do you think that it's easy to have Moet, Hennessy, a bunch of other like alcohol brands, and to have fashion brands, and to have a bunch of other, you know, houses in one holding company? LVMH is no joke, but they're excellent custodians and stewards. Not everyone knows how to do that. I don't think Richemont would benefit at all from merging with Kering. You guys definitely wouldn't benefit. It would actually probably hurt Cartier and Van Cleef the most. Cartier and Van Cleef are doing well, doing what they do. They should not merge with Kering. That was such a terrible thing. I read that in the Financial Times. I will link maybe 1 or 2 articles, but the Financial Times is behind a paywall, so if you can't read the full article, just know I have read everything on there. And when I read this in the Financial Times that they were saying that they should merge with Kering, I was like, oh my god, like, you know, some of these financiers, like, they actually don't care about these brands and these markets. They just see it as a way to make money, and I have nothing against that. Like, I'm into stocks. I'm into stocks and investments. I have stocks, and I keep on top of my dividends, the payments, and how much they're going to be and everything. And I follow stock prices for the stocks I'm invested in. But the way they are going about this is not right. And I'm happy that actually Johann Rupert was smart enough to make sure that he does have the controlling voting shares, because it seems like he is not interested either. If they're going to sell Net-a-Porter, I'm completely fine with that. But I don't want to see Van Cleef and okay, and Arpels and Cartier being merged with Kering. No, okay? Frankly, okay, Gucci could be spin-off completely from Kering and could stand on its own. I'm not really a massive fan of Kering's business strategies and their shenanigans. You've noticed I don't really talk about Kering a lot. In terms of the brands that they own, I love Gucci, I like Balenciaga as well. That's really about it. I'm not a massive fan of their kind of business strategies and structures, but that's a whole nother video. So I think you get what I'm saying right now. So as of today, just before I started filming the video, apparently Prada have come into the picture as well, and they might try and get in on this deal for Richemont to get rid of Net-a-Porter. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but it's definitely turning into a Game of Thrones at Richemont. But Johann Rupert, you know, he's definitely one of the top dogs, as most of you know. He's South African. Cartier do have a boutique in Johannesburg, and I believe he was definitely like the powering engine behind that, and that's really great, because of course, you know, I'm just happy that a luxury brand is in Africa as far as I'm concerned. That just makes me happy. So I'll keep you guys up to date. If you have any questions, you'll let me know. If you have your own opinions on this, of course, I'll be happy to hear them as well. But generally speaking, VCA would not benefit from this. Cartier would not benefit from this. Okay, so now I'm gonna answer a bunch of questions. I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and yeah, so I want to answer a bunch of them now here for you. So my husband asked me a question when I put it on the sticker, like for my Instagram sticker. He's asked me, like what inspires me to do what I do in reference to this channel. So Edwin, you asked me, let me answer, even though he knows anyway, but he's being supportive, he's being a supportive husband. I would say like what inspires me is just like my interest in luxury and shopping. I find it interesting. I am by no means a shopping addict. I buy things as and when I want. I don't show everything that I buy. And in fact, Edwin and I were talking about that recently, because he's like, you know, you actually buy way more than you show. I'm like, yeah, you know, I can only show things that I'm like interested in showing. The next question is from Caleb. Thank you for asking. He asked me, what is the next category that I like that Hermes offers, like besides their bags? Okay, so I would say I really like their homewares. Honestly, I mean it. I know that like when like luxury YouTubers, bloggers, pages, whatever, like whenever we say that, people are like, oh, you're just saying that because you have to get into it so you can get an offer for a bag. No, I really do like their homewares. I like a lot of their decor pieces. So like the Avalon pillows, I think. I like the Avalon blankets as well. I really like the kitchenware stuff. So I like their plates. I like all of that. It has this really cool like Roman kind of look to it, particularly their plates, their kitchenwares. I like that stuff, and I honestly, I mean it. I would willingly buy that. Like when I go to Paris, I would happily buy the kitchen stuff and the pillows and the blankets, and I genuinely feel like I would use those every day, and I'd be very happy to buy them, you know, even if I didn't get an offer. The next question is from Belle. She asked me, what is my favorite car brand? I would say it's between two, and I would say these are very indicative of my personal style. Mercedes-Benz is like my favorite luxury car brand because I think it's just very diverse. There's something for everyone. It's kind of like the Louis Vuitton of cars, in my opinion. They have something for everyone. I love the G-Wagon at Mercedes-Benz. I love this car called the SLS AMG. It is now sadly discontinued. A very cool car. I love a lot of their vintage cars as well. Yeah, just generally speaking, I would say I'm definitely a Mercedes girl. I also love the origin story of Carl Benz and his wife Beata, and how she was like supporting his dream, and you know he created the first like mechanical prototype for a car, you know. So I love all of that, and you know me, I feel like I really connect with the origin stories of these luxury brands. So definitely Mercedes, and then I would say Lamborghini. I feel like Lamborghini is very much my personal style. I mean, first of all, I'm a Taurus. Okay, and the logo is a bull. I mean, come on. Okay, I love everything about this brand. And I just love the lines. I love everything about that brand for sure. Okay, so Happy Girl asked me if I could have one luxury handbag for the rest of my life, which one would it be? This is a great question, by the way. I feel like it would just have to be the trendy CC or the Dauphine, although deep down I feel like I would choose the Dauphine. The Dauphine from Louis Vuitton is actually like the Helen of Troy of this channel. The Dauphine is actually the reason why I started this page, because I've always loved that bag. It is one of my holy grail pieces. So is the trendy. I've noticed I have a preference for the accordion style bag. So like the trendy CC is an accordion style bag. The Dauphine is an accordion style bag. I like that. I just feel like it's very practical for my lifestyle. It's hard. I'd have to choose between the trendy and the Dauphine, but I think deep down I would have to choose the trendy for sure. Okay, so the next question is from Luxury Newbie. She asked me, do I think we'll ever have a Chanel in Africa? I love your videos. Thank you. I love this question, okay, because I think about this question from time to time. So let me tell you what I think. I am 35. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna have a Chanel on the African continent by the time I'm 40. I would love to see a Chanel ASAP, like for example, Cape Town in South Africa. Cape Town is known as like the Monaco of Africa. Like it could work there. Johannesburg, of course, Cairo in Egypt, Casablanca in Morocco, even Lagos, Nigeria. Like I think it could work. But fundamentally speaking, they should open it in Johannesburg or Cape Town or Cairo in Egypt. If they open in one of those three places, it will be successful. But Chanel need to invest. Like you can't come here and open a boutique for a year and be like, oh, we went to Africa for 1 year and no one was interested. No, people here need to know you're here for the long run. Louis Vuitton has had their boutiques in Africa now for several years. They've invested and now they are reaping the fruits basically of their labor. I heard that the store in Sandton City in Johannesburg is doing very well for Louis Vuitton. So it can work. I don't feel like we're gonna get it anytime soon, unfortunately. I don't think we're getting it next year. I don't think we'll get it 2 years from now. Frankly, I don't think we'll get it 3 years from now. I think Big H and Big C are very conservative, and I think that they just maybe are nervous and maybe they don't know that there is a huge market for their products here. Interestingly enough, Chanel, I think, would do very well here. Chanel's clothing is extremely conservative. The culture here in many African countries is deeply conservative when it comes to like the way you dress and how you look. It could work. I also think the fine jewelry stuff that Chanel makes that many of us drag, honey, okay? Although I was looking at some of their fine jewelry pieces. They do have a few bits and pieces that are quite nice from the Coco Crush collection. But it could do well. Remember how I told you in lots of African countries, you have lots of ceremonies for weddings. You've got dowry ceremonies. You've got, you know, dowry ceremonies where cows are exchanged. So you need to have outfits and jewelry for that. And the bride has to have different jewelry in different events. It could definitely work for them in terms of ready to wear and fine jewelry. I wish that Chanel would definitely think about us because I think that there is a market here. I just think that they're very conservative. And I think that maybe they just don't know, but I know that Louis Vuitton's boutiques in Africa are successful. I know Gucci's boutiques in Africa are also successful, so it could work. Just before I go, I would love to know, what do you guys think of the sort of Chanel backlash, the big C backlash? I've noticed a massive backlash in words though, not actions just yet. I guess your girl Big C. I would love to know what you guys think about that. People seem really annoyed about what's going on. But I want to see if you guys are going to stay on code, okay? Because more 22p pictures are being leaked, and we know 22p is coming out in January. Of course, you know what time it is. I'll be here covering it. You know me. I like Big C. I like Chanel. I like her games and her shenanigans. But I have noticed a massive backlash. So many people have said that they are leaving Chanel. They're not even going to buy costume jewelry again. They're not going to buy anything ever again. Listen, I better not, okay? See you here in December watching my Chanel Vlogmas videos if you are going in on Chanel. So I would love to know what you think of the Chanel backlash because of the price increase and the new Chanel quotas and games, even though Big C says that she's not having quotas or games. We all know that they're there, okay? I would love to know, are you done with Chanel? Are you staying? What do you think of the backlash? What do you think of everyone's reactions? What did you think of my take of everything? I would love to know what you think. And also, just before I go, literally, I read a comment from one of my subscribers, Marina, who said that she watched my video from ages ago when I said that Chanel were going to do the cruise show again in Dubai. Okay, do you guys remember ages ago I told you guys about that? And Marina left a really nice comment on my page yesterday saying that she watched my video, she contacted her SA in the UAE, and she got to go to the catwalk show. Honestly, when I read this comment, I'm not even telling you, like, I almost was like, oh my gosh, like, I was so happy so that my channel helped in any way, and she left such a positive comment. It's things like that that make this channel worthwhile for me in terms of the effort in filming videos. If my videos have helped anyone in any way, even if it's a tiny small way like that, that makes me so happy. So actually, she got to go to the catwalk show in Dubai. I hope that she's watching. I would love to hear more about the catwalk show, but that just made me feel good, made me so happy. So I'm so happy for her that she got to go, and I'm just happy that my video mentioning it helped in any way. So I will make more of an effort to find out those scoops as and when I can. I remember reading about it on CPP Luxury, which is a very obscure luxury website, and they just like mentioned it in this article, and I was like, ooh, I thought, you know, I should tell you guys. So anyway, even though there's a Chanel backlash, there's still many of us who like this brand, and we're still going to be following and keeping up with what she's up to. I must say that the bags that are coming in 22p are going to be coming for people's wigs, okay? Because they look really good. I want to see how many of you stay on code, okay? Because many of you are like, I'm done with her, I'm done with Big C, I'm done with her shenanigans. Let's see what happens in January. You guys, if you like what I'm doing, please consider fully subscribing. I think I'll have some videos up next week. It's quite busy for me at the office because next week is Black Friday week, and Cyber Monday is like the Monday after next week as well. So I'm quite busy with work, but I think I will be putting out some videos, and then I'll be doing Vlogmas as well. I would love to have your support if you would subscribe and hit notifications. Some of you said you're not getting my notifications. Please remember this. If you see my notifications but you don't watch my videos through the notifications, YouTube will stop sending you my notifications, honey, okay? Because This platform is like that. So please make sure that you watch my videos through notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.